as soon as Bill Haney took the loss, he kind of was walking away from the cameras, speaking to them, but not necessarily wanting to
Bro,
be the old Bill Haney, the guy that wants to stay on the camera, for an hour. His lives are shortening up as well. But he
he has
mentioned.
his head between his ass. That's why. He's history, bro. Let's move on. We're not gonna give him a fucking rematch for what? You only give somebody a rematch when the fight is close. I mean, close
Or
to the point where, like, damn, this could have gone either way. Let's run it back. Okay, but when you got an ass kicking like what Ryan did to Haney, rematch. He'll kill him next time.
so
Damn,
why
not even worth
so why ask for a Tank rematch then?
it. At a catchweight, at a catchweight,
Well,
43,
why wouldn't you do the
44.
same thing? Why wouldn't you do the same thing for Haney this time?
Because did 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 Tank Davis kick Ryan's ass at 100% condition, or were there stipulations? There were definite stipulations. But if you want to do it the real way, let's do it the real way. No stipulations. Let's go 143. We fought Haney the real way. That's the difference. The real way. And that's why we ain't gonna give him no rematch. He don't deserve it. He got his ass kicked.
Well,
I'd
you
rather
guys
fight.
have
I'd
didn't you?
rather fight Cruz or Teofimo now.
But I'm saying though, just and I'm not a defense to anybody, but at the end of the day, keeping it funky, it's just like you guys had the advantage on this fight. Tank had his advantage with your. Well, if
Wait. What do you mean we had the advantage on this fight? What do you mean by that?
you didn't weigh in at 140 pounds, he did.
Okay, so you're saying so you're an advocate of the 3 pounds?
No, I just believe that when people are aware of what's going on throughout the fight, it's just it gives it room to say, hey, I could do a rematch and do it on these terms.
Didn't you hear Ryan say that he can't make 140, bro? He
So
already
that's what I'm
told
saying.
you. He can't.
143, 144.
Yeah,
Was
I
it worth
mean,
it? The money worth it for this fight?
bro, did you see the whipping that Devin Haney took?
Take a chance for that. There we go. Throw it right here. Oh!
So, according to Henry Garcia logic here, Tank shouldn't give Ryan Garcia a rematch since he doesn't deserve it. The fight was not close like the Devin Haney fight. Remember, Ryan versus Haney, the zone actually scored the fight a draw, while Dan Rafael had Devin Haney winning by 1 round. Devin Haney managed to win 8 to 9 rounds against Ryan. Ryan Garcia knockdowns saved the day in the rounds he won. That's what ultimately granted him the victories because the rounds he won, he actually won them pretty big. On the other hand, when Tank fought Ryan, the fight wasn't close at all, as Tank won pretty much all of the rounds, plus he knocked out Ryan Garcia. So, according to Henry and Ryan logic, they don't deserve a rematch with Tank. When Millie City Boxing, who can't stand Devin Haney, pointed out the contradictions by Henry Garcia, that's when Henry had no answer but to say, "You an advocate of the 3.2 pounds?" The funny part about that, Ryan is an advocate of the 3.2 pounds. As he said, he did not make weight because he felt that was going to make him weak, just like Devin Haney, so he did it to have an advantage. He was there to win by all means necessary, even if it meant breaking the rules. We all know Ryan missed weight by 3.2 pounds, so to say you an advocate for something that's a fact that's not up for debate, something his son and all of the fighters agreed on to the point where a lot of fighters said if Devin Haney came in at 143.2 just like Ryan, then he would have had pulled off the win even on his worst night. We already established that Haney versus Ryan was a closer fight than Tank versus Ryan, obviously, duh. But Henry said, nah, Ryan wasn't 100% when he fought Tank, but when he fought Devin, he was 100%. Let's get one thing clear. When Ryan fought Devin Haney, he was 120% because he didn't have to make weight like Devin Haney. However, Henry Garcia said the reason why Ryan didn't make weight is because he can't make 140 pounds anymore. Even though Ryan is already on record admitting that it was Floyd Mayweather who told Ryan to come 3 pounds overweight against Devin Haney to have an advantage. Ryan planned that months before the fight. Basically, Ryan was admitting he could have had made weight. However, he never planned to make weight in order to have an advantage. Clearly, Henry's excuses are not adding up because at least when Tank fought Ryan, they both had to do the same exact thing. So the fight was on an even playing field. Whatever Ryan had to go through, Tank went through. However, when Devin Haney fought Ryan, they both did not do the same thing, as Ryan came in 3.2 pounds heavier on purpose. Additionally, if we believe Ryan can't make 140 pounds anymore, then why did Henry on the same interview only called out lightweights, 135 pounders and 140 pounders in Tank and Pitbull Cruz, so on and so forth? Shouldn't Ryan be calling out 147 pounders like a Jaron Ennis, so on and so forth? If Ryan can't make 140 pounds anymore, then move up to 147. How they just gonna make a division that doesn't even exist in between, like 144 or 145, but to only fight 140 pounders? Fight Jaron Ennis at 145 then. And if Henry believes the Tank versus Ryan fight wasn't fair, then definitely we all know Devin versus Ryan fight wasn't fair. So give Devin Haney a rematch at 145 or 144 first before a Tank rematch. That's the fight the whole world want to see. Plus, Ryan said he made more money in the Devin Haney fight than the Tank fight. Then what's the problem? Furthermore, Gervonta Davis trainers, Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, they gave Ryan Garcia good news leading up to his fight against Devin Haney, as they actually picked him to win. They were the only ones that I know who sincerely picked Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. In fact, they believed in Ryan more than his own team, from Oscar De La Hoya, Bernard Hopkins, etc., 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 because Kenny Ellis said Ryan Garcia is a threat, and he pursued to pick him to beat Devin Haney. On the other hand, Calvin Ford said he's picking Ryan to beat Devin Haney. Well, surprisingly enough, Ryan did beat Devin Haney. Additionally, Calvin Ford also said if Devin Haney beats Ryan, Devin Haney is going to get the Gervonta fight. However, if Ryan beats Devin Haney, then Ryan will get the Gervonta rematch. That's what Gervonta wants to do, or that's what they want to do. This is what Calvin Ford said on the Roz podcast. Well, after Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney, he said that the only fight he wants is the Gervonta rematch. So they both on the same book. However, Ryan is on a different page this time because he wants to fight Gervonta either at a catchweight at 144 or 145. Which, if that's the case, Ryan is not sincere about wanting the Gervonta rematch. He doesn't want the Gervonta rematch because we all know Gervonta is a lightweight. He fights at 135. So if Gervonta, who already beat Ryan, is willing to sacrifice to move up to 140 pounds in order to eliminate all of the excuses that's coming from Ryan Garcia, then why is Ryan making more excuses by wanting to fight at 144 or 145 against Tank? That means if they do agree to fight at 140 pounds, Ryan is still going to make excuses claiming that he was drained fighting at 140 because his best is at 144 or 145, a division that doesn't even exist. Ryan is basically saying, I'm willing to run it back with Tank under one condition. The fight cannot be on an even playing field. I don't want the fight to be on an even playing field since I can't beat Tank on an even playing field. So guess what? If I can have an advantage against Tank like I did against Devin Haney, however, this time, instead of missing weight by 3.2 pounds, let's just make the fight at 144 so I don't have to miss weight. With this advantage, I'm willing to fight Gervonta because Now I really feel like I could beat Tank under these circumstances. Or else, I don't want the rematch. This is what Ryan is basically saying. We all know that's not going to happen. Only a fool in Tank position will agree to these type of demands from a guy he already beat. Ryan deep inside knows the main reason why Tank was able to beat him, unlike Devin Haney, was because he was able to nullify Ryan's best weapon, and that's the hook. He even used that against him. He was baiting Ryan to throw it. Then he countered it. Devin Haney was unable to do that. That's why you can't find one hook that Ryan landed on Tank the way he landed them on Ryan Garcia. Now that's what you call skill. It's amazing to me how Ryan is going around along with his fans, bragging about Ryan missing weight by 3.2 pounds against Devin Haney in order to have an advantage. Then with the next breath, Ryan will say, oh, well, the 3.2 pounds really didn't matter, along with his fans. That's their talking point. However, with the same breath, Ryan is complaining till this day about being drained when he fought Gervonta. No matter how you look at this, that's a direct contradiction. You can't make this up. To the point where Ryan put up a post where he compared how he looked when he fought Gervonta next to how he looked when he fought Devin Haney. And I'm sitting here shaking my head wondering, how you gonna compare the time you actually made weight to the time you missed weight on purpose by 3.2 pounds? You can't do that. It ain't like Ryan made the weight against Devin Haney at 140. Absolutely not. Ryan came overweight by 3.2 pounds. So you can't compare the two. Especially when Ryan admitted he planned to do that leading up to the fight. We talking about months before the fight, Ryan said Floyd Mayweather told him to come over 3 pounds overweight. So you can't compare the two. This has to be the first time in history a fighter is actually bragging about missing weight by 3.2 pounds along with his fans. Then with the next breath, they will say, oh, the 3.2 pounds didn't matter. If they didn't matter, how come Ryan didn't make weight then? Well, let's see what Ryan had to say about that. Ryan said he's here to win the fight and he doesn't want to make weight because he doesn't want to be weak like Devin Haney. Since the last 3 pounds is the hardest to get out of your system. Making weight, the process of making weight is a harder process than rehydrating back up. This is not about being 3.2 pounds bigger than your opponent. This is about you having to get that 3.2 pounds out of your system to make weight, which weakens you since you have to run, go in the sauna, all on an empty stomach with little to zero body fat. Once you hit that 5% body fat, that 3 pounds is significant. That's why that last 3 pounds takes the longest to get out of your system, which is why Ryan Garcia skipped the process of making weight. Therefore, to all of the Ryan fans who say, oh, weight don't matter, the 3.2 pounds don't matter. If that don't matter, then why fighters make weight to begin with? Why is there weigh-ins? Why don't fighters just skip weigh-ins and fight? That's a rhetorical question. It's the same reason why Ryan refused to make weight against Devin Haney, so he can be stronger and healthier than Devin Haney on fight night. He was happy about paying that $1.5 million like it was nothing. Devin had to take the money since he had no choice. You either fight Ryan or cancel the fight, and canceling the fight wasn't an option. Let's be real and realistic. That's why it cracks me up every time I hear Ryan brag about missing weight against Devin Haney and claiming it didn't matter. However, with the next breath, Ryan will say the only reason he lost to Tank was because he felt weak. He was dehydrated. He was drained. Well, if that's the case, the same thing could be said about Devin Haney. But the main difference when Ryan fought Tank, both Tank and Ryan made weight. Both Tank and Ryan had to do a weigh-in 12 hours before the fight, where they only could gain 10 pounds. Therefore, Tank had to weaken himself to make the weight, and he couldn't gain more than 10 pounds just like Ryan. So the fight was on an even playing field, unlike when Ryan came 3.2 pounds overweight when he fought Devin Haney, solely to have an advantage and not be weak like Devin Haney. That's what Ryan said. Therefore, in our reality, there is no reason for Tank to fight Ryan at 140. There's no reason for them to have a rematch because, like I said before, if they do, Ryan is still going to use that same drained excuse. He's going to say, I was drained fighting at 140. I want to fight at 144. I wanted to fight at 145. So what's the purpose of having a rematch with Tank if Ryan is going to use the same excuse? However, if Ryan want to tell the world that the 3.2 pounds didn't matter against Devin Haney, then how come Ryan doesn't fight Devin Haney at 144 instead of Tank? This rematch makes more sense than the Tank rematch because there will be no excuses. Ryan could tell Devin Haney, let's both fight at 144. So nobody's going to have an advantage. The fight will be on an even playing field. Devin Haney recently called out Ryan for a rematch on an even playing field at a fair weight, where both fighters are actually going to make weight. On top of that, in the first fight, Ryan reportedly made $50 million. Devin Haney made more than $35 million. Well, guess what? The rematch is going to sell even more because in the first fight, the fans didn't believe Ryan had a chance. So now that Ryan actually beat Devin Haney, you best believe the rematch is going to sell even more, probably twice more. So Ryan could stand to make $100 million. On the other hand, Devin Haney could make up to $50 million because we all know the split will favor Ryan more this time around than last time. That's why Ryan has no excuse not to fight Devin Haney if the weight didn't matter like he claimed, unless he truly believes the weight matter. And that's why he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney again. Only time will tell. One thing for sure and two things for certain, I believe Ryan will fight Devin Haney again. Ryan is a real fighter. He will fight anybody. That's one thing you have to respect about him, win or lose. The only question is when he will fight Devin Haney again. Will it be this year or will it be next year? My say on it, you got to hit the iron while it's hot. This was the biggest fight in boxing. This is the biggest topic in boxing. So now that Ryan wants to fight at 145, he has to move up to welterweight to fight at 147. He can't keep calling out lightweights like Tank or 140 pounders like Pitbull Cruz to fight at a catchweight of 145. That doesn't make sense. If Ryan want to do that, he needs to move up to 147 and fight Jaron Boost Ennis. But why would he do that when he can make way more money for supposedly an easier fight like Devin Haney? Especially a guy he already beat. And if he loses to Devin Haney, in a worst case scenario, they can still do the trilogy. So it's a win-win situation for Ryan Garcia. You see, we don't know what's going to happen a year from now. We don't know what's going to happen 2 years from now. As far as I know, Ryan and Devin Haney can lose their momentum, or one of them can. If Ryan ends up losing in a bad fashion, then guess what? The rematch probably is not going to be as big. However, right now, at the moment in time, Haney versus Ryan, the rematch is arguably the biggest fight in boxing. That's why you got to hit the iron while it's hot. The only bigger fight is Ryan versus Tank rematch at 140. However, with Ryan saying that he wants to fight at 144 or 145 only, he already set up an excuse in place. So I don't even think Tank want to go through that again, to where even if he wins, Ryan is going to stay complaining and making excuses. When Tank fought Ryan the first time, he already said Ryan is a lightweight. He fought Luke Campbell at 135. He fought all his career at 135. So he's just being lazy, and he's trying to have an advantage by changing the weight to 140. Well, now Tank wants to fight at 140 according to his team. However, Ryan doesn't want to do that. He wants to fight at 144 or 145. Therefore, you best believe the fight will never happen. At least from what's being said, I don't see the rematch coming to fruition. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's get one thing clear. Ryan said he was smaller than Devin Haney. So, by Ryan's own admission, he can still make 140 just like Devin Haney. In fact, he can make 140 better than Devin Haney. However, he doesn't want to weaken himself to make 140. Therefore, clearly Ryan is admitting him missing weight by 3.2 pounds did matter. Additionally, Ryan also admitted that he can make 140 to fight Tank. He just doesn't want to do it because he want to have the same advantage against Tank that he had against Devin Haney. That's the only way he's willing to fight Tank again. Last but not least, I want you guys to pay attention to how the only thing that mattered leading up to the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight was the ticket sales, was the pay-per-view, was this, that, and the third. But after the fight, none of that mattered. You don't hear nothing about ticket sales. You don't hear nothing about pay-per-views. You don't hear none of that. We all know what time it is. They were just saying that to discredit Devin Haney and to deflect from fighting Devin Haney. Nevertheless,
Ryan's stocks will go through the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? And if Ryan does lose, everybody can say he was messed up in the head. Right or wrong?
Yeah. Right.
So it doesn't make any difference to me. I want to see what the numbers do because I can figure out what you're going to get for the fight.
I've never seen my son gain more than 10 pounds, give or take. It's not an issue for him or me because I want him to gain at least 9 pounds. I mean, that's good. And if you gain 10 pounds, that's good too. But he knows what he's up against. He knows it. It's not like, he's going to forget or he's going to go over. No, I mean, we're all monitoring everything, but it's not going to be a factor for him. In fact, it's going to be good for him.
Gervonta, it wasn't a hard fight. I was just weak. That's not a hard fight for me. I will beat Gervonta Davis worse than I beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney's a harder fight than Gervonta. And I know if he's like, they're going to go crazy right here. But at the end of the day, I've proved them wrong before. At the end of the day, you guys could pull up the picture of me, how I look for a Tank fight and how I look for Devin Haney fight. They knew what they were doing, and he will never fight me at 145, so it doesn't really matter. And that's why he was trying to text me all nice.
Have you ever felt drained up and coming into a fight? Because this fight, you may have that experience since it's a catchweight and there's a rehydration course.
Right. No, actually, I've never felt that, but I don't think it's going to be a problem because I feel good. I don't like to gain that much weight anyways after the weigh-ins. So I pretty much walk around in the ring at 148, so 146 won't be too much different.
It can be.
And for Ryan's last fight, he was originally scheduled to fight Fortuna at 135. Ryan wanted to fight at 135, but Fortuna wanted to fight at 140. So why do you think Ryan wants to fight you at a higher and heavier weight, but not Fortuna?
I think he just wanted to fight. I think he wanted to just be lazy and not train as hard. When he fight at 35, he actually got to work to make the weight. So I think he was just trying to be lazy, and then also probably think he got a better advantage at 140.
Yeah, you and Ryan are both lightweights. So if Ryan accepted the fight with you at 135, would there have been no rehydration clause?
You said what?
I said you and Ryan are both lightweights. If Ryan accepted to fight you at 135, would there have been?
Nah.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't have been. It just, he's trying to figure out, find a way to have some advantage, so I guess.